Hey, my name is Seamus Evans. I'm an ambassador for Tourette Syndrome Association Australia, and I'm a keynote speaker. I go to businesses all over the country, conferences, and to schools, and I deliver a keynote talk. It's all about resilience, overcoming adversity, instilling some self-confidence. And today I am answering some questions, some frequently asked questions about Tourette Syndrome. So if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel for more Tourette's content, and leave a comment in the comment section and ask me anything. Nothing is off limits. You can ask me anything at all. So, here we go. How do I want people to react to my Tourette's? The honest, truthful answer is no reaction at all. Just ignore, ignore, ignore. Across the board with a lot of people I've met who have Tourette's, they say the same thing. When we meet new people, it's a novelty to them, but it's not a novelty to us. I don't mind at all people making comments, people making jokes, people asking questions. I don't mind at all. My way of coping with having Tourette syndrome is by talking about it, is by being open about it and being confident and owning the fact that I've got it and learning to love it. However, it's not awesome when people copy or react. Oh, you just ticked more, is everything okay? It's just like, hey, it's just gonna happen. If someone asked you or noticed or questioned every single time you scratched your foot, it gets annoying after like 300 times. I just like people to ignore. Zero reaction. I've spoken to so many people who have Tourette's and their overwhelming response is, I just want to be treated like everyone else. I want to be treated as normal. And that's how we feel. We're normal, we just tick. What's the worst reaction I've ever got? Not now, not as an adult, but when I was a kid in primary school. Ew, Seamus, what are you doing? Seamus, take your medication. Stop it, Seamus, it's annoying. Like people telling me to stop. I had that frequently in high school, in school. That was always the really annoying reaction. Or when someone makes a really big deal out of it. Like it's so overwhelmingly weird that I tick, that they've got to make this big song and dance. It's like, it was such a quick movement, man. Who cares? It's over. I've had a couple of really like annoying over-the-top reactions, like, what are you doing? What did you just do? What was that? Can I catch it? Is Tourette's contagious? I've had a lot of those, but nothing really in particular. Has it ever got me in a sticky situation? Yes. 2 times in particular I can think of where I almost got into a fight because of my Tourette's. First time, both times have been at sushi, actually. I love sushi. I'm a big fan of sashimi and your salmon and your unagi and I remember I was sitting next to these 2 guys and they started like laughing at me and looking at me. And I was really little, like as a teenager and a young adult, I was a tiny, skinny, pimply faced kid. And they were big men. And they were looking at me and laughing and giggling to each other. And I said, sorry, can I help? Are you laughing or what's going on? And they said, yeah, mate. I said, well, what are you laughing at? You, mate, you're a goose. You keep moving around. Oh, that was really hard for me because I had so much rage just boil up inside of me and I just wanted to beat them up. I wanted to thrash them. I wanted to grab their head and smack it on the table and I wanted to just, One, you can't do that in society. And 2, I wasn't capable of doing it and I would come off second best. And I just had to sit there and take it. And that was a really hard, annoying moment for me. I really struggled with that. I got so angry for a long period of time. I had a lot of pent up anger and frustration when people would kind of laugh at me. And I just wanted to Jackie Chan them but I can't fight. And don't fight. Fighting is not good. Don't do it. Because I don't like fighting. I think there's no winner in a fight. You're going to hurt yourself and they're going to get hurt. And there's a lot of legal consequences. And I have heard of people who died in a street fight. So there is no good outcome from a fight. However, the next situation, I couldn't handle it. I feel bad about this, that I couldn't control myself. But again, at sushi, and these guys were sitting opposite me. So I was on one side, the sushi train was there, and they were on the other side and kind of in eye shot. And I'm looking at the sushi going. And this guy just goes, mate, what are you doing? What are you looking at? You want to go? I can't remember what the words were. And I regret the fact that I wasn't able to control my anger at this point, but I was young and I had anger problems. Having ADHD as well is you can have a real pent up of rage, and it's really common for people with Tourette's and ADHD to have rage problems, to have anger problems. And I've spent years working on that, working to control my anger, my threshold. It's not cool. I don't like losing my cool. I don't like losing my temper. but I did, and I stood up and I just mouthed off at him, and I really arced up. In fact, I'm getting a little like goosebumps now just thinking about it. But I just stood up to him and I just yelled at him. I basically egged him on to say, you wanna go? Let's go. Come on, I'll take you on. I've got Tourette's, and I wasn't doing that at you, but I'll have ya. Let's go. And I was young, I was like 19 and he was like 30. Oh, he would have won for sure. But I psyched him out. It worked. Lucky, thank goodness, for goodness sake. Thank goodness I wasn't in that situation, but yeah, I don't know, maybe I freaked him out, or maybe he was like, ugh. I don't know what happened, but he completely backed down. He never apologized, but he backed down. Maybe I was ticking while I was doing like, yeah, you wanna go? You wanna go? Like, that would psych anyone out. So that's what I did, and I'm not proud of it, even though I just laughed and made a joke of it, glorifying it. I hope it doesn't encourage anyone else to behave like that, because it's not okay. Do I tick in my sleep? Not that I know of, I'm asleep. I have been told no, that I don't. I remember I was about 11 or 12 and I used to share a room with my older brother, Ben. He just said, hey, Shamo, let's see how long you don't tick for. If you have Tourette's, you can suppress. However, it's not good because it's like not blinking. And over a period of time, you end up blinking more anyway and it gets annoying. So don't suppress. But I tried it and he was timing it. And the next morning he's like, dude, you didn't tick for like 3 hours. And I was like, yeah, because I fell asleep. And so that's when I worked out I don't tick in my sleep. But I know many people who do. They get woken up from their tics whilst they're sleeping. When did I get Tourette's? I was diagnosed at the age of 10 when I had Tourette syndrome. The really problematic symptoms and tics became a problem at about 8 or 9. But my whole life I've had tics. My whole life I've had Tourette's. What triggers Tourette syndrome is like a traumatic event. So it'll always be in your system laying dormant. And then when something traumatic happens, it comes out like a volcano, like a pimple, like it just happens. And we think it was when I was a baby, I had a body infection or something and I went into hospital for like a week. And I mean, if you're an infant and you're in hospital for a week because you got an infection, that's pretty traumatic. So we think it started from there. So I've had it my whole life. If you have any questions for me, ask it in the comment section and I will answer your questions. Like this video, subscribe and watch part 3. Have a good day.